Boy Jay really silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy for you end up life easy. But make sure y'all follow my Instagram and Twitch in the description down below. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. We got the hunt for America's smartest serial killer. You know what I'm saying? Smartest serial killer, man. And I told y'all, bro, when it comes to serial killers, man, I just don't understand their brain. Like, I don't understand, like, how someone can just, because if y'all don't know, a serial killer is a person. You have killers, you know what I'm saying? You have serial killers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, when it comes to killers, neither one is right. But killers, you know, usually kill people who done something bad to them, or usually they target the people they kill. The people that they kill is usually for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But serial killers, they kill any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Any and everybody, bro. Killing is wrong in general, but bro, serial killers, bro, is just a different type of freaking level. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to serial killers, bro, you usually do not hear about the victims being a man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, the victims be a women and children. You know what I mean? That's the main targets for serial killers, women and children. You know what I mean? That's what I be trying to tell women, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go, be alert. Everywhere you go, be alert. Be alert. Every woman should own a gun. Straight like that. Every woman should own a gun. Every woman. I told you, it makes me sick to my stomach when I see women in Georgia when I be driving. When I see women walking down the street alone, it makes me sick. Especially with them having headphones in. And then the craziest thing is they back be turned to traffic. It's like you having headphones in, you can't hear nothing going on around you. You walking. Shoot, you walking with your earbuds in. Shoot, a van drive up, 3 dudes pop out. You ain't even aware that 3 dudes pop out of the freaking van finna kidnap you and human traffic you. Cause your headphones in, bro. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that a serial killer said, and it stuck with me, bro. He said, I look at the father first. I look at the man first. And if the man looks weak, then I know that that's an easy victim. His child is going to be an easy victim. His woman is going to be an easy. I look at the man. If the man looks weak, I know that I have a chance to take this child. I have a chance to take this woman. I forgot what serial killer said that, bro. But, you know, that right there stuck with me, bro, when he said that. If the man looks weak,
doing what I am going to do is simply
I know I can take the child. I know I can take the woman.
Revenge. I do not expect to accomplish anything by it. Lincoln, Montana, 1996. This cabin is the chosen home of Theodore J. Kaczynski, more commonly known as the Unabomber. He's long been feared as America's smartest criminal, a serial bomber who's killed and wounded targets across the country with no clear connection. For 17 years, he's eluded the FBI. It's
so bro not no regular killer, bro is a bomber. He's going around bombing ish.
The FBI. It's the largest, most expensive manhunt in the Bureau's history. He's the evil genius they simply can't catch. Likely history's most intellectual serial killer. He's terrorized the nation, instilling fear in Americans about opening their mail and getting on planes. And he did it all from his cabin.
Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, you know what I'm saying? I never heard about this dude. Thank God, boy. You know what I mean? That man had Americans scared to open their mail, had Americans scared to get on their plane. Bro just blowing up people for no reason. See what I'm saying? Bro's a psycho. Bro just blowing up people for no reason. Yeah, man, you know, I just want to blow up people for no reason. I get the thrill of just blowing up people, you know?
Instilling fear in Americans about opening their mail and getting on planes. And he did it all from his cabin. Here is where he built his bombs, where he wrote his manifesto, and where he evaded capture for nearly 2 decades. It's where he turned from off-the-grid recluse to world-famous murderer. This cabin contains all the evidence the FBI will need to convict him. It's located deep in the Montana wilderness. Back in 1969, Ted moved here from California, where he left behind a shining career as a math professor at UC Berkeley. He wanted to get closer to nature and far, far away from everyone who pisses him off, which is most people. He built this cabin with his brother back when Ted still talked to him. It's got no electricity, no plumbing, just a wood stove, a bed, and a whole lot of books. Right now, Ted is building another bomb. They're meticulously crafted, and he's continuously improving his technique. Every year, they become more lethal. In fact, he's got another one under his bed, wrapped and ready to go. But he won't get a chance to send it, because despite his intellect, he made some pretty dumb mistakes.
Crazy. Never heard of this cat. He said, have I ever heard of the Night Stalker? No, I have never heard of the Night Stalker. I've never heard about this cat. You know what I mean? The serial killers I heard, John Gacy, Ted Bundy, you know, serial killers of that stature. But I know it's way more, but I feel like this man honestly is way more dangerous than Ted Bundy and John Gacy. If y'all didn't know John Gacy, the freaking, you know what I'm saying, the freaking killer clown. You know what I mean? Jeffrey Dahmer's, of course, the killer clown. I think that's where the killer clown, excuse me, got, you know what I'm saying? You know, I know y'all was hearing about the killer clown stuff, you know what I mean? John Gacy, bro, was like basically dressing up as a clown to lure kids in and kill them. Bro had like, I don't know how many bodies buried under his house. They have a documentary about him on Netflix. Y'all want to hear about John Gacy, bro? It's crazy, bro. Dressing up as a clown to lure kids. I think his victim was kids. Most of his victim was kids. You know what I mean? Kids, and I think some women was in there. He used to dress up as a clown, bro, and lure kids in his house and kill them. And bury them under his house. That John Gacy was crazy. Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, they killed women. Never heard about this cat though, man. They have a documentary about John Gacy on Netflix, bro. So if you want to hear more about John Gacy, bro, it's on Netflix. Man, it was crazy. I didn't even watch it. I just heard about John Gacy.
This video is largely based on these two books. Links are in the description. We attribute the social and psychological problems of modern society to the fact that that society requires people to live under conditions radically different from those under which the human race evolved. Born in 1942, Ted grows up in a pretty average family in the suburbs of Chicago. They're working-class Polish Americans. His parents are politically progressive, bookish and intellectual, and really into the outdoors. They're strict but loving. At least, that's how they remember it. It becomes obvious at a young age that Ted is exceptionally gifted, so his parents push him to succeed. He skips 2 grades. And
I ain't gonna lie, Firm, bro. You talented as freak, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. It's like we watching a dang movie right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I be trying to tell y'all, man. You gotta explore, man. You gotta explore, man. Some good videos out here,
At least, that's how they remember it. It becomes obvious at a young age that Ted is exceptionally gifted, so his parents push him to succeed. He skips 2 grades and easily aces every class. He's a pretty normal kid for someone with an IQ of 168. Sure, Ted is quiet, shy around girls, and arrogant, but he has a core circle of friends and plenty of hobbies. Like his parents and brother, he loves playing music, reading, and camping. People like Ted. They'll later remember him as a sensitive, respectful kid.
What? That's what I'm saying. See, that's why I say, like, everything, like, I know y'all hear this little quote, man, that people be saying is everything starts from home. But that's not the case in a lot of situations, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, Ted Bundy had 2 loving parents. You know what I mean? Bro just turned psycho. Like, for him, you know what I'm saying? Strict loving parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, the worst kids, bro. Sometimes the worst kids be having the most loving home. It's like you just got to try your best to be a best parent, like the best parent as you can be. You know what I mean? Honestly, like for me, how I look at it, I'm like, okay, what did my parents do that I wasn't a big fan of? You know what I'm saying? What can I do to be a good a better parent than my parents, even though they were good parents. You know what I mean? But you know, what didn't they do that I didn't like? You know what I'm saying? But it's like even when, you know what I mean, you try to be the best of parents, bro. You know, sometimes, bro, because you got to realize life is choice based. Life is choice based. So it's like you can raise your kid to the best of your abilities, but at the end of the day, when that kid step outside that door, that kid gonna want to do what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully he just remembers what you taught him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, it's like if my kid was to turn out to be a serial killer, I'd be shocked because it's like, dang, I felt like I was a good father. I felt like I raised him right. But then I'd be on some like, you know, I tried. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, that's not always correct. That's not always true when they be like everything starts from home, because you know some of the worst some of the worst people in this world, bro, grew up in the best homes, bro. They just turned out to be psycho. Like for bro just turned out to be psycho for no reason. You got the
all that starts to change when Ted enrolls at Harvard University
at
just 16 years old. Like many college freshmen, Ted struggles to adjust. Here, he no longer feels like the smartest person in every room. And as a working-class kid thrown into the world of America's elite, he's a fish out of water. Other students and even faculty mock his shabby clothes and blue-collar background. He's deeply bothered by their snobbery, pain that will follow him through life. Ted's also just really young.
But one thing that I do like realize about a lot of these serial killers, they get bullied. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I teach my kid, like to stand up for herself, you know what I mean? And to not care about what people say, you know what I mean? You got to instill that confidence in your child. I feel like what a lot of parents don't do, they don't spend time with their children. They don't talk with their children a lot. Even my pops and my mama, they ain't talk to me. They ain't talk to me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't spend time with me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they spend time, like, dropping me off at football practice, you know what I mean? Doing stuff of that nature, but, like, sitting down, talking with me, like, sitting down, you know what I'm saying, like spending time with me and stuff like that. I never got that as a kid. So I feel like that right there, that is a lot, like a lot of these serial killers, they get bullied, bro. So it's like, you gotta, yeah, I feel like that right there, talking to your child and, you know, instilling that confidence in your child and just, you know, letting your child know that he's great. I feel like that's very important, bro, when it comes to being.
Than almost everyone else on
So
campus.
basically he turned psycho because he turned crazy because he was getting bullied and whatnot.
Ted's also just really young, younger
him.
than almost everyone else on campus. As an adult, Ted will write his mother furious letters about this. He demands apologies for pushing him out of the house before he was ready. Ted becomes depressed, and his grades suffer. His classmates describe him as a total loner, moody, rude, and virtually mute. He's that guy on the dorm floor who only leaves his room to go to class, who ignores everyone else, who slams doors. There's a stench of rotting food wafting from his room. Ted doesn't know it yet, but his withdrawn and alienated demeanor has caught the eye of a psychology professor. Dr. Henry A. Murray is very famous, with an on-campus research center named after him. He's basically a god in the social sciences. Murray is looking out for particular types of students, those who will make excellent guinea pigs for an experiment. His final, most elaborate experiment, the capstone of a long and illustrious career. It also happens to be a CIA-funded project designed to cause extreme distress and break down the subject's sense of self. Clearly, we are in a position to do a great deal of damage, and it does appear that the FBI is not going to catch us anytime soon. The FBI is a joke. It's the 1970s in San Francisco. The city is a hotbed of anti-government activity. There's outrage over the Vietnam War. Protest bombings are a regular occurrence. Explosions happen every week up through the mid-80s. The FBI dubs it the Belfast of North America. Radical far-left groups like the Weather Underground and the Symbionese Liberation Army claim credit for many of the bombings. So most of the cases are pretty straightforward in terms of understanding motive and perpetrator. But amidst all of this, the FBI's San Francisco bomb squad makes a shocking discovery. 12 mysterious, similarly built bombs can be linked to one elusive killer or group. They have next to nothing to go on. Just for whatever unknown reason, this string of explosives seems to target universities and airlines. Whoever is building these bombs is an expert crafter and careful to not leave any DNA behind. Not a hair, not a fiber. They're encased in beautiful handmade wooden boxes. There are no eyewitnesses to the bombings and no letters from organizations claiming credit. The victims appear to be scattershot of random people. The unknown perpetrator is referred to by the code Unibomb for university and airline bomber. So far, his bombs have killed one person and injured 20 others across 5 different states.
Say it, man.
Unlucky recipients of the Unabomber's early packages include a campus security guard, a handful of graduate students and professors, a secretary, an airline executive, and passengers on a flight from Chicago to DC. Some are injured quite badly. The first death is in 1985, Hugh Scruton, a guy who owned a computer store in Sacramento and was about to get married. What does he have to do with anything at all? Far away in his cabin, Ted reads about his death and chuckles to himself. He hears that the FBI offers a $25,000 reward for any information. He's flattered. The Unabomber is making waves. Not bad for the actions of one man in a 10 by 12 foot shack with no electricity, running water, or phone service. Pretty hard to imagine now. These days, connection isn't optional. It's how we get around, check in, look stuff up.
You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? That boy in the middle of nowhere. Nobody gonna find that man. That man been doing this for 2 decades. That man got away with this for 2 decades. If y'all don't know how long that is, man, 2 freaking decades, man. 2 decades long, man. It's a long dang time, bro. That bro been doing this, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, for me, honestly, you know, nothing can make me do this. Honestly, you know what I mean? Just keeping it real with you. I don't care. You know, for me, I already knew as a kid, I just was for none. I ain't gonna lie. My parents, they had to instill that in me. My parents, they had to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess it was just in my blood, bro. I wasn't getting bullied. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, it was just for me, I just wasn't going for that. But if I was, bro, getting bullied, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, you know what I mean? I still, it's like, I don't know, bro. You know, kids that get bullied, it's not trying to speak down on them, but it's like, you gotta get some heart, man. You know what I mean? Like, letting people bully you, bro, it's like, come on, bro. You gotta get heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get heart. You feel me? You can hurt people other than, and then look, you can hurt people other than bombing people, bro. Like, what okay, you don't like people. How you gonna say, I used to say that, I don't like people. I haven't even met all people. You know what I mean? Honestly. So it's like for him right here, it's like, you talk about you don't like people. You don't like the people that you've met. The dude that you just killed, bro, that was, it's like at the end of the day, there's no reason for you to do this because you're killing innocent people. Kill one person, injured 25. So it's like the dude you just killed was just getting married. You knew nothing about him. He did nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I just don't know, man. I just, like, I realized you was getting bullied, bro. I realized people was picking on you, but, you know what I'm saying? Nothing in this universe will make me, you know, just bomb, just, you know, be a serial killer. Just nothing in this world.
Snowshoes, maps, a homemade chair, a cot, a typewriter, and hundreds of books.
It's not like you killing the people that bullied you.
Jars of chemicals for making his bombs, binders and binders full of notes.
But still, don't kill. Even if the people that's bullying you, bro, like I said, just knock them out, give them a few punches, but still don't kill them either. You know what I'm saying? The people that's bullying you, don't kill them either, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Kinds of disguises for delivering the bombs, like wigs and sunglasses, and shoes with fake soles. It's crammed to the gills, but meticulously organized. At this point, the FBI has 0 promising leads, and by the end of it all, they'll never actually find the perpetrator themselves. The bomber is always several steps ahead of them. They'll pursue thousands of dead ends, spend hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars, and pour countless man-hours into this case. They have no idea why he's targeting the people that he is, but the bombs are so precise, so well crafted, there's gotta be a motive, right?
Salt
In
Lake City.
1987, there's finally a break in the case. The Unabomber plants a package outside a Salt Lake City computer store, and a lady spots him. He's wearing a gray hoodie, sunglasses, and sporting a mustache. The police create a sketch and post it all around the country. The bombings immediately stop, and for 5 years, nobody hears anything from the Unabomber. All kinds of people call him with tips, but the leads go nowhere. The case pretty much goes cold, but the FBI know that it's only a matter of time before he'll strike again. They're sure he's using the time to perfect his bombs. And they're right. In his cabin, Ted is finessing his technique. The upcoming bombs will be a whole lot more lethal. But, as the world will soon find out, he is also busy writing. He doesn't just want his explosives to do the talking. He's crafting a manifesto, one that claims to explain what the mysterious string of bombings is all about.
Chapter 3, The Education of a Killer.
The Technophiles are taking us all on an utterly reckless ride into the unknown. Back at Harvard in 1958, the United States is experiencing huge shifts in culture. The button-up 50s are drawing to a close, and the nation becomes swept up in the space race, the civil rights movement, the sexual revolution, the environmental movement, the explosion of drug culture, and all the while, the Cold War is escalating. The American military is paranoid that communists have developed mind control drugs and brainwashing techniques, and they're eager to catch up. So they're covertly experimenting with ways to manipulate behavior. U.S. intelligence officials are especially interested in developing a perfect truth drug for interrogating enemies, and they believe LSD might be it. But they're also testing a wide range of ways that psychological manipulation could bend the will of anyone to do whatever the U.S. military wants. They've even enlisted help from the Nazi scientists who experimented on Dachau inmates with hallucinogens and interrogation methods. The military illegally smuggles these war criminals over to get their advice on brainwashing, as part of Operation Paperclip.
It's crazy.
Over the course of at least 11
That's why I be trying to tell y'all, bro. It be so much ish happening in this world, bro. You know what I'm saying? That we know nothing about, and it be crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Like, as of right now, bro, it's evil. Like, I'm talking about the most evil things is happening right now. Right freaking now, bro. You know what I mean? It'd be crazy, be like, dang, bro. Like, as I'm doing the video, somebody getting tormented right now. As I'm doing the video, somebody getting experimented on right now. As I'm doing the video, somebody just died right now. As I'm doing the video, somebody just got killed right now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Life is crazy, bro.
In years, thousands of Americans are subjected to unethical psychological experiments that include sensory deprivation, hallucinogenic drugs dosed without consent, subliminal messaging, hypnosis, electroshock therapy, and even ice pick lobotomies. And that's just the stuff we know about. When the project becomes public knowledge in the 1970s, the CIA director orders most of the records to be destroyed.
We never know when the end is, bro. You know what I mean? That's one thing about us, bro. And that's kind of like, it doesn't scare me, because for me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm close with Jesus. I don't only read the word, but apply the word to my life, and I obey it actually. So I know if God returns right now, I'm good. You know what I mean? But that's the craziest thing. I be thinking about that all the time. I'm like, dang, what if God returned today? Who's stopping him? You know what I mean? That's the most craziest thing, is like he can return at any moment. And it's going to be like a thief of the night. It's going to be when you don't even expect it. You know what I mean? That's the thing that just be having me like, dang, bro, like, man can really return anytime he want to. Nobody can stop him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can stop him. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? So that's why I just be on some, like, you know what I'm saying?
The program is codenamed MK Ultra.
But I don't know. It's something in me. I just don't feel like I'm going to die. Like everybody. I feel like, you know, times is definitely getting near, honestly. And I feel like I will see that return, honestly. I mean, I don't feel like I'll die. I mean, I feel like, you know, it's getting closer and closer. He said, huh? Said what I said. I don't feel like I would die. You know what I mean? I feel like God's going to return before I die. It's something in me that's telling me that God going to return before I freaking die. You know what I'm saying? Everybody dies. But I don't feel like I'm going to die. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
Many of the test subjects are vulnerable populations, like prisoners and hospital inmates, but also students. Students are prime subjects for these experiments because of their frequent contact with professors who play a big part in MK Ultra.
You say, you know you're going to die? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Look, see, for me, you know, like, you know, we all got to die. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, but, You know what I mean? I was talking about the rapture. You know what I'm saying? He said, I know I'm going to die. Hey, that's on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you know you're going to die, if you speak that up, like for me, if I die, I'm dying later down the road. You know what I'm saying? So look like I said, nigga, I don't know you. So nigga, if you die, I'm going to keep it real. So God bless you, brother. You know what I'm saying? If you speak that over your life. I know we all going to die. You know what I'm saying? But I was just saying, you know, you got to read the word to understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, you die, nigga. Sorry, nigga. We all gonna die, but I'm not dying early. That's all I know.
Some of the professors know the role they play. Many don't. During the post-war period, the CIA becomes the largest employer of college professors, and the military is by far the biggest source of funding for psychological research. Professors acted as consultants and researchers for military-backed projects. They used their status to encourage their students to participate in experiments, often involving drugs like LSD. Afterwards, they reported back to the government. Harvard becomes heavily involved in Army-sponsored studies. One of the CIA's main men on campus is the superstar psych professor, Henry Murray. Murray is well known for his studies of personality, and since the CIA's beginnings, his theories have influenced how they recruit new agents and how they interrogate suspects. When Murray and young Ted Kaczynski cross paths, Murray is at the end of his career, and he recruits Ted for his final, most elaborate experiments. They're meant to assess the effects of stress and harsh interrogation on gifted male students. Murray wants to know, what will it take to break an educated, intelligent man? The setup is simple. Ted and 21 other students are asked to write an essay about their most deep-seated beliefs. Then they're told they'll discuss their beliefs with a fellow undergrad. The experiment aims to compare the effects of stress on college men who seem psychologically healthy and well-adjusted, with students who seem alienated, pessimistic, and lacking in identity. Ted is most likely recruited for the second group because he's showing signs of depression. Ted's personal essay stands out as the most pessimistic of them all. It suggests that he was already vulnerable before the abusive test began. He is also the youngest and the poorest in the group. The students are told this exercise is just to study different personalities. In truth, now the real experiment begins.
They're experimenting on them.
To lawyers trained in manipulation, who are instructed to attack the values expressed in them. The students endure harsh interrogations in brightly lit rooms. They face calculated personal critiques designed to humiliate and erode their sense of self. All the while, electrodes monitor their stress responses. Later, they have to watch these stressful and humiliating moments on video, over and over again, for 3 years. As Murray himself describes it, the tests were designed to be abusive. He's had a lifelong fascination with pain and stress and is known to have a sadistic streak. Plenty of participants will later report the experience to be deeply unpleasant, with
what the freak? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? This professor is experimenting on, you know what I'm saying? Experimenting, great slobbermouth, you know what I mean? But this professor is experimenting on his students. You know what I mean? And if I didn't hear, if I heard correctly, this professor is an undercover CIA agent. If I heard it clear, it had something to do with the CIA. But this right here, I never heard of nothing like this a day in my life. This professor is experimenting on his students.
Lasting trauma. But Ted's responses are the most extreme in every category. Murray's team identifies him as the most traumatized of all. Yes, Ted Kaczynski got MKUltra'd. You can read all about it at CIA.gov. In consequence, many claim the CIA created the Unabomber, but that's an oversimplification. It's not so easy to prove how much effect the experiments had on Ted's turn to terrorism. None of the other students in the experiment are known to have become killers. Some psychologists believe the experiments were stressful enough to create anger problems in Ted, or even aggravate latent schizophrenia. But other psychologists evaluate him as undeniably sane. Ted himself dismissed the idea that the tests were anything resembling psychological torture. He was very invested in being seen as psychologically healthy until the bitter end. He's taking great pains to not be painted as damaged or crazy. He wanted his murders to be understood in the context of his beliefs, not his personal history. If people saw his actions as a result of trauma or madness, it would invalidate his ideas. Ideas that formed his last year at Harvard. Ted becomes increasingly disillusioned with the industrial technological system. He comes to believe that technology is slowly destroying humanity and eroding our freedom.
Hey, bro, he ain't lying about that. You know what I'm saying? He's not lying about that, bro. You You know what I mean? That's one thing I gotta agree with Ted on, bro. Technology is destroying humans, bro. Honestly, like I'm telling you, it's to the point now. You got AI, bro. These folks don't even live in real life no more. I'm telling you, bro. I go outside, bro. I don't see no kids playing outside no more. These kids is in the house. Y'all don't understand how bad technology is for you, bro. You're not supposed to be on technology like all day, every day. Like, bro, you gotta take breaks, bro. Like, honestly, bro, that junk damages your brain. You got people that literally sit on TikTok all day. Half of their day is they're facing their phone. That junk is weird. One thing I want y'all to do, I want y'all to go out, bro, and just look around. Just look around. Like, it was once upon a time, like, people actually talk to people. You know what I'm saying? People talk to people still, but you just go around people like this. And you start looking, it's like, nigga, that junk is weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like people can't have conversations no more. This is real life to them. For me, I told you, for me, I know how to balance this because I told you, I keep saying I grew up without a phone, bro. And that's how I'm going to teach my kids how to grow up. You should not have this, bro. You should not have an iPhone. You should not have a phone, bro, if you're a little kid. It pisses me off seeing little kids with phones. What the frick does this little kid need a phone for? What does he need a phone for? Technology, bro, is destroying humanity. It's destroying it. And I'm not going to say humanity, bro. I'll say America. Because China and them other places, bro, they don't play that. You know what I mean? TikTok, Instagram is not real. The first thing that you do, bro, when you wake up, bro, you should pray. The first thing I do when I wake up, I pray. I read my devotion. I read this little book that I got from my pastor, and I read the Bible, bro. I don't get on this phone, bro, for like hour or close to 2 hours straight when I first wake up. You know what I'm saying? For some of y'all, bro, y'all that's watching this, some of y'all wake up. Nigga ain't brushed their teeth yet. Nigga, that junk is ridiculous. Nigga, do you pray? Do you walk around? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, golly, if your first thing is this, and you don't see nothing wrong with that, this. Man, look, man, y'all better, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, that's what I say with me, bro. I'm just like, you say you got to text the, bro, shut up, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you part of the problem. You got to text the hoes. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, gang. You don't sound
cool. He's horrified by widespread psychological suffering.
They can wait, bro. You know what I'm saying? They can wait. Ain't worried about no, bro. Like I said, for me, bro, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. A lot of y'all, bro, people just...
And how industrial technology has severely damaged the planet. He's certain that it'll only get worse the more technology develops. So anyone who helps advance technology in any way is the enemy. Scientists, engineers, business people, what Ted calls the technician class. Ted starts having revenge fantasies and becomes obsessed with how society enforces obedience with psychological controls. He daydreams about breaking away from society and living off the grid. Ted graduates Harvard and goes on to get his PhD in math at the University of Michigan. He's quickly establishing himself as a brilliant mathematician and is offered a tenure-track position at UC Berkeley as their youngest professor ever. His students don't like him very much, but he's publishing groundbreaking papers on boundary functions. But Ted resigns one day without warning. He tells his family that he's done with teaching math to future engineers who will advance the industrial technological system and continue destroying the planet. Ted buys a bit of land near Lincoln, Montana, and builds a cabin with his brother. He's ready to escape the advanced technology that surrounded him at UC Berkeley. He wants to live a simpler life, far away from everyone he's ever known. And then, he starts to build his first bomb.
Through our bombings, we hope to promote social instability, an industrial society, propagate anti-industrial ideas, and give encouragement to those who hate the industrial system.
In 1993, the Unabomber strikes twice after a 6-year hiatus. Two prominent researchers, a computer scientist and a geneticist, receive packages the size of a VHS tape. The bombs detonate upon opening,
Dang.
and both professors are badly injured.
So he's basically targeting professors who's teaching engineers, who's teaching students. So basically his war is against technology. And it's like, I agree with you saying, bro, but killing, bro, that isn't the way to go at all. But what he's saying is definitely true, but what he's doing is definitely wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, technology is definitely destroying the world. And he said this in like 1970 something. So we see it now where he was speaking. We see it for sure. You know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm getting from this video is his war is against technology. So he's basically targeting professors, you know what I mean, that is teaching engineers, that's teaching people who's going to be in charge of advancing technology. So basically, bro's war is against technology because he feel like technology is going to destroy humanity in the future.
After the New York Times,
so I had to understand, you know, one thing about me, I listen. I don't just be watching the video. I listen to everything. So basically, you know, that's for everybody that don't understand. 'Cause I know a lot of y'all just be looking at the video and not really understanding what the freak going on. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all do that. Even when you watching movies, your attention span is stupid, slow. You know what I'm saying? So I have to explain it to some of y'all so you can understand. 'Cause I seen some people in the freaking chat saying, I don't even know what the freak is going on. Maybe if you pay attention, you know what the freak is going on.
A typewritten letter. It claims
you hear the video, but you're not listening to the video.
In 1994 and 1995, the Unabomber succeeds in killing 2 people with his mail bombs, an advertising executive and a forestry lobbyist. As feared, his explosives have become notably more sophisticated. Bombings are usually accompanied with demands for money or some kind of action. What made the Unabomber so difficult to understand and to find is that his bombs never came with any requests. They seem to be built only to cause fear, injury, and death. 17 years after starting his bombing spree, the Unabomber finally makes his demands known. He writes the New York Times again, announces that he will permanently desist from terrorist activities if they publish a 56-page manifesto. The request kicks off a fierce debate within the FBI and the newspaper, to publish or not to publish. The FBI has a clear policy to not negotiate with terrorists, but they also believe he'll honor his promise and stop killing people. After all, this is what the bombs were seemingly for, to force people to pay attention to his views. Plus, they still lack leads. If the public reads the manifesto, someone might be able to identify the Unabomber, so the manifesto is published. The FBI decides it should just be the Washington Post, though, because it has fewer readers and the newspaper's stance will be easier to surveil. So they think. Interest in the Unabomber is huge. Newspaper sales hit a record high that day, with lines snaking around the block. Across the country, Americans are eager to finally read what the Unabomber...
In this back then, newspapers, you don't see people reading the newspapers. You know what I'm saying? But back then, technology wasn't a thing. So how they got the news, how they, you know what I'm saying, know what the freak was going on around the world? Newspapers. You know what I'm saying?
With lines snaking around the block.
You still got some old people that be reading newspapers, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, you feel me? Maybe I need to read me a newspaper or something, you know what I'm saying?
Across the country,
but this was technology for them. This was their phone back then. Newspapers.
The manifesto opens with an iconic
See what
line.
Going on.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
And though the manifesto is an argument that calls for dismantling industrial society, it's also, unwittingly, a self-portrait. Within its pages, the Unabomber has accidentally unmasked himself. David and Ted, though 7 years apart and very different, grew up close and loved each other very much. As adults, they had impassioned philosophical debates by mail and shared a lot of the same views. David also worried about technology's destructive effect on humanity. He'd also spent some time living off the grid in a self-made cabin. But David wasn't a killer. When the manifesto is published, he hasn't spoken to his brother in a long time. Ted cut him out when David got married and refused to answer any of his letters. David's wife Linda, a philosophy professor, has a funny feeling about Ted, whom she never met. As the bombings stack up and some of the timings coincide with Ted's travels, Linda tells David, "You've got a screwy brother. Maybe he's the Unabomber." David doesn't want to hear it. Linda doesn't know Ted the way David does. He'd never kill anybody. As a kid, Ted used to cry at the thought of animals getting hurt. But when the manifesto is finally published, David avoids reading it. He doesn't want to admit the similarities. That, like the Unabomber, Ted is an excellent carpenter, and that he had a lifelong fascination with explosives, and that some of the dates match up perfectly with Ted's travels. David only reads it when Linda insists. His jaw literally drops from the first few lines. The killer, like Ted, also hates technology. As it continues, David recognizes idiosyncratic word choices and logical arguments that Ted uses all the time. There is no escaping the truth. Ted is the Unabomber. So after some moral qualms about betraying his brother, David alerts the FBI.
Dang, so...
They are bound to make me out to be a sickie, and to ascribe to me motives of a sordid, or sick type. Many tame conformist types seem to have a powerful need to depict the enemy of society as sordid, repulsive, or sick.
Oh, they coming. I hear them dogs. I hear them dogs. Right when you hear them dogs? So basically his brother gave him up to the FBI. Basically. His brother gave him up to the FBI. But could y'all really blame his brother? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you out here killing innocent people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you slipped up, bro. You know what I mean? And said something. Only your brother knew how you spoke. Only your brother knows you for real. So y'all really blame the brother? You out here killing innocent people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make your point, you know what I mean, without killing people, bro. You can get people to listen without killing people. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. You can go against technology. You can just make your voice heard without killing people. So it's like, you know, what you doing ain't no heroic thing, you know what I'm saying? Just plain terrorism, bro.
Lincoln, Montana,
I heard
April
them.
1996.
Uh-oh, y'all heard them dogs. Y'all heard them dogs. They found them. And so they found them through their brother. You know what I'm saying? They found him through the brother. The brother knows where the brother is the only one that knows where his shack is. Nobody else is gonna find him but his brother.
Repulsive. Or sick.
Heard them dogs, I'm like, it's over.
Lincoln, Montana, April 1996. With the tip from David, the feds are staking out Ted's cabin. The investigation is meant to be conducted quietly, but they're interviewing local townspeople, trying to collect more evidence on Ted. Right now, all they have is the linguistic similarities in the manifesto and old letters from Ted that David gave the FBI. Not exactly cold, hard proof. Enough for a search warrant, but not an arrest. Rumors start to spread around town that Ted Kaczynski, their very own angry hermit, is the Unabomber. The plan is to draw Ted out of his cabin and get inside before he can escape or destroy any evidence. But they don't know if he has it tricked out with explosives. Nobody would be surprised if he did. Ted has no idea he's under surveillance, so when someone knocks and says some land surveyors need to talk, he believes them and opens the door. He wasn't expecting visitors. These days, he's busy with a dirty job. He's in the middle of rasping aluminum blocks to make powder for more bombs. He's covered from head to toe in the dust. He's rail thin because the rabbit hunting was scarce this season. Ted's hair is wild and his clothes are literally rotting off of his body. But what does he care? He's not trying to impress anyone, and he can clean up fast if he needs to blend into society. Too bad for Ted. He'll be photographed in this state, filthy, emaciated, and in severe need of a shave. The image will circulate around the globe and will not help Ted's desire to seem sane. When the feds swoop in, they find 40,000 pages of journals and plans, most written in code. The code is more complex than anything the FBI had ever seen, more convoluted than codes the KGB used during the Cold War. But Ted also left the key to the code in the cabin. Without it, the FBI wouldn't be able to decipher the decades of written confessions that definitively tied Ted to the bombings. They also find a bomb under the bed, ready to be mailed to an aerospace company in Dallas. Now the FBI has all the evidence they need. They lock up the cabin and take Ted to prison. He does not dispute that the journals with the confessions are his. In fact, he wrote them partially so that nobody would try to say he was crazy. Ted's family and his defense team attempt to convince the jury and the world at large that he is mentally ill. They're doing anything they can to avoid the death penalty, which frustrates him. He tries to fire his lawyers and defend himself. He would rather die than allow his lawyers to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Ted pleads guilty to his crimes and is sentenced to life in prison. Behind bars, he never stops writing. He publishes 2 books and keeps up a lively correspondence with a wide array of journalists and admirers. he also finally makes some human connections. He strikes up a friendship with Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber who killed 168 people in 1995. Ted and McVeigh are briefly on the same prison block and find they have a lot of views in common, before McVeigh is carted off to death row. Ted even finds love for the first time in his life. After a lifetime of struggling to connect with women and never going beyond a few kisses, Ted suddenly has dozens of women writing him romantic or salacious letters. But only one captures his heart, a school teacher he calls his lady love. They spend thousands of hours talking by mail or in visiting booths, but they are never able to touch. He writes classical music for her before she dies of lung cancer. Later, Ted also develops cancer. When the condition becomes advanced, he dies by suicide in June 2023 at 81 years old.
Yeah, in 2023, 80.
This is not to be a political revolution. Its object will be to overthrow not governments, but the economic and technological basis of the present society.
In the decades since his arrest, Ted Kaczynski continues to fascinate and sometimes inspire. The manifesto's central argument is that technological advancements since the Industrial Revolution have robbed people of their freedom and well-being. These advancements are supposedly responsible for widespread psychological suffering and environmental devastation.
He was right, bro. He was right of predicting that. I told you, like, you know what I'm saying? He was right. It was just what he was doing was wrong, but what he said about technology was was on point for sure.
Call to dismantle industrial society altogether and warns that technology will inevitably overpower human autonomy. Many of Kaczynski's observations in the manifesto are true. Some of his predictions are prescient, and a lot of the grievances are understandable. It's not hard to find people who are also frustrated with surveillance or sad about environmental destruction. At the time of his capture, Time magazine wrote, "There's a little bit of the Unabomber in most of us." Nowadays, Ted Kaczynski continues to find admirers online, from teens on TikTok, depressed about climate change, half-ironically saluting Uncle Ted, to the extreme right mass murderer, Anders Breivik, who heavily quoted Kaczynski's Industrial Society in his own manifesto. But even if most people can find parts in the manifesto they agree with, most people are not willing to kill.
Yeah.
Kaczynski knew that most people would be repelled by his crimes, but committed them anyway. Those who find the ideas compelling might want to check out Jacques Ellul, the thinker whose ideas most inspired the manifesto. The philosopher never advocated killing. They also should check out Ted Kaczynski's diaries. They lay bare the personal motivations that drove the Unabomber, beyond the manifesto that was polished for public consumption. Technological society really did seem to anger Ted, but Ted was also very, very angry, in general. In his diary, Ted Kaczynski writes that he was happy to kill innocent civilians. He took pleasure in causing people pain. He killed at least 9 dogs just because they barked too loud. He hated leftists. He hated doctors. He hated women. He fantasized about killing them just for rejecting him. He fantasized about killing his neighbors just because they annoyed him, including a toddler.
See, bro,
he condemned technology as slavery and glorified simpler times that ran on actual slavery. Kaczynski wasn't even much of an environmentalist. He made fun of them in his diaries. He littered proudly. He poached illegally. He logged unprotected lands. You might get the sense that he only used environmentalism as a post hoc justification for his murders. A cynic who identified ecological concerns as the most acceptable excuse for killing.
Or bro was just a regular serial killer. His war wasn't on technology. He just, bro, just tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody, bro, for joining this stream. Honestly, bro, everybody that joined this stream, man, it was an amazing, amazing stream. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you know what I mean? Bro just hated people. That's what it was. Bro just hated people. He just tried to, you know what I'm saying? Just tried to freaking, you know, cover it up. You know what I mean? You said, that's it? Oh, man, you just joined? You know what I mean? You might just join. But I told you, I got boxing practice, bro. You know what I mean? So I'll be on kind of a time schedule. You know what I mean? Just keeping it real with you, bro. I box, bro. I got boxing classes, bro. So that's why. You said, dude, I just joined. Well, dude, guess what? You know what I mean? The videos that I reacted to, you know what I'm saying? The videos that I reacted to will be transferred to my YouTube channel, dude. You know what I mean? So if you did not watch it on here, you know what I'm saying? Watch it, you know, at my YouTube channel. If you do not know my YouTube channel, it is in my freaking bio. You know what I mean? Okay, dude. Check ass.